This is a video of me showing you Marshall DSL-40, what you can do with this thing to make it sound like other amps. So here's ultra gain channel OD1, low output with just all the EQ at 5, no reverb. I don't have a good speaker or a good microphone. But what I do is I take so like this amp has this very fizzy sound, like just a fizzy sound, and you don't want to use like too much gain on this amp. You want to use some sort of pedal to give you more gain. So this is what I use. It's called a glove overdrive. So like OD in the middle of the O in glove, and then it's by like Electro Harmonics. It says www.ehx.com. That's where you find this thing. But it has this button on it, and it said tone, or it says tone shift, on, off. On gives you like more mid-range. Off, it's just like it's any other overdrive. But this amp, it's already like it doesn't have a lot of mid-focus life kind of sound. It's pretty empty, you could say. Then you like could take the middle knob and turn it all the way up. It sounds like it gives it more of that kind of like live sound, because it's already like an empty sound. It sounds like acoustic amps in a way. You can still tell it's like electric guitar and everything, but it's got more of that acoustic kind of sound. How acoustics have that all open sound on the frequencies, however, versus electric guitars are more mid-range, at least they're an amp. That's kind of how this amp is. It's got more of that open sound. That's a animal I've become by 3 days grace, so I don't get copyrighted. But take this pedal, I just use it as like a boosting thing. Turn the volume knob all the way up, the gain knob all the way down. That tone button, I'll show you the difference. And then the tone knob, I just leave it at like 5. But here's the no overdrive. I'm gonna give it as much gain as I would usually. But here's it on this Electro Harmonics Glove Overdrive. Every knob is at 5, but the gain in the middle. The middle's all the way up. The gain is at, what, 7? Yeah, 7. And then just the pedal. But here's tone shift off. Here's on. You hear a little bit more gain in mids. And then I would turn the treble up to like 6 or 7. And then how the Mesa dual rectifier has that fizz to it, this amp has that more fizz. So I use an overdrive pedal to give like more of the overdrive gain instead of the amp gain, because the amp gain is fizzy. That gain isn't. I usually use the gain knob on the amp at like 7, and then this thing, no gain, no or max volume, tone shift on, and tone knob at 5. But you can change, or you can take the amp gain on the ultra gain OD1 setting and put it at 5, and then like take this gain knob and put it at like 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock to like probably 11, 9, 10, 11, something like that. And it gives it more of the overdrive gain and less of the amp gain, which like depletes the fizz, or whatever that word is. Turn the gain knob to 5 on the amp, and then turn this pedal gain up to 9 o'clock. Yeah, that's my tone, and this amp got that big low end like the Mesa dual rectifier, and then it's got that fizzy thing. Yeah, it's like kind of like a JCM 800 sound with a dual rectifier a little bit too. Yeah, it's got like the low end of like a dual rectifier. It's got the EQ of a rectifier, but it's got the kind of like that high mid thing of the JCM 800. That's how I used to say this pedal off again. Monster by Skillet, so don't get copyright again. And here's the pedal on. Keep this at how I set this thing up. And then if you want even more fizz gone, you can literally use the crunch channel and then just use the pedal. But this thing, it doesn't like boost it as much. It gives it more gain. It doesn't really take anything away from the low end like most overdrives do. When you boost them, it's like increased high end and lower to low end. It doesn't really do all that. It just gives it more gain, especially if you use it like that. I'm gonna turn the gain knob on the amp on the pedal down, so it's not really adding any gain, or it's not supposed to. And listen to like the difference in the EQ and stuff. Here's it off. Here's it on. Directly on or off from chugging. Sound. I got a Boss SD1 that I use if I want to sound more thrashy, more technical, so I don't sound like I don't know, how it doesn't get muddy, how it takes away less low or more low end and boosts the highs more than the pedal, this pedal. I just set that one the same way. Tone knob at 5, level at max, and then gain at 0. Or yeah, something like that. I think it says gained. I don't know. But, yeah, that's what I'll do. Subscribe to my channel, and yeah, thanks for watching, if you did watch.